Now I want to exclude hello Vikas and thanks and regards, and I want to see how many words I have used. I select all this and it says 84. In bottom in Word document it will show as 84. So I've used 84 words, which is absolutely fine. Even though it says minimum 50 words, I have used 80 words. Clear? So let me quickly check. Just make a note of these aspects. Let me have that on the screen. Meanwhile, I'm going to quickly check if we're going to have the provision for call-in so that you can ask any questions. So let's have this on the screen so that they can make a note of it. So look at the email, look at the structure, and like I said, if you're writing this in Word, you will get to know where you are making the mistake. Alright, let me zoom in and show you. If I make a mistake, the system will automatically show me. For example, if I use a space before comma, you see this green line. You see this green underline, that means there is an error. So since I am using Word document, it will show me that I made a mistake. Even if I use it like this, it will show me that I have made a mistake. If I make a spelling mistake, it will show red mark. Okay. But in your tool, in the TCS assessment, the system will not show you where the mistakes are. So you got to be very sure that you're not making these punctuation mistakes or even grammatical mistakes. Okay, let's go on to the next topic. This is the next email that I want to practice. Now before that, in case if anybody has any questions, you can call. I want to give this particular question as an assignment. You can provide your answer on the comment section of the YouTube video. Okay. Now while I'm reading this question, you will see a number flash on your screen. If you have any doubts, you want to speak, you can call. While you call, I want to read out this particular email which you need to write for tomorrow's assignment. You can post this answer on the comment section of the YouTube video. Let's go. Write an email to Bhavya Reddy giving her the details of the procedure of deleting temp files from her desktop. So we all have temp files that gets created on the desktop, which slows down the performance of the system. So you need to write an email. The receiver's name is Bhavya Reddy. You need to tell her how to delete these temp files from the desktop. Okay, follow the rules mentioned below. Use all the keywords given below. Minimum words should be 50, otherwise your email cannot be validated. Addressing and signing should be done as in the questions given. Common grammatical rules, punctuation should be according to standard English. You can use your own phrases along with the phrases given. So this is a question. I want to mark this in bold red so that you can identify. Please make a note of this. Okay, and here are the keywords. These are the 10 keywords that you need to use. To make it simple, you don't have to follow the same sequence because this is a practice assessment. For once, as one-time concession, you don't have to follow the same sequence. But next time onwards, you need to use the same sequence. So the keywords are D drive, delete, cleanup, temp files, restart, system, speed, cookies, browser, procedure. please make a note of this. D drive, delete, clean up, temp files, restart system, speed, cookies, browser, and procedure. These are the keywords that you will need to use on the email that you're going to write. This is the email which you are supposed to write. An email to Bhavya Reddy giving her the details of procedure of deleting temp files from her desktop. Okay. Now, how will you send this assignment? It's fairly simple. Go to YouTube. You can open, let me look up the name just a moment. So you have Mana TV Amravati. You can just look it up. Look for the particular session. It will have the date as well. It will always show the date. For example, the date will come here because right now, since this is live, you are seeing it live now. Okay. So once you are done, you can open this and then you can go to the comment section and you can post the answer. Okay. You can also post the question here. Okay, somebody has already asked some questions. Somebody is asking questions as, hi bro. I'm sorry, I'm not your bro. I'm a trainer here. So please don't bro me. As far as the technical questions, what are the technical questions they will ask? Some other trainer is going to come and talk about it. So don't worry about that at all. So as far as the assignment is concerned, I would really request you to please post your question. And in case if you choose to ask the questions here, please do. But please keep it very professional. When you talk to someone on a professional setup as a bro, it's considered extremely rude and unprofessional. So please don't do that. You may keep posting your question. I will take a look at it. Now in the live session, it's difficult for me to keep a tab on the questions. So once the session is over, post your question in the comment section. I will take a look at it and I will provide you with the answer. Okay. So once again, here is your assignment for tomorrow. Please write this email and post it on the comment section. I'll take a look at it. I will also announce the person's name, whoever writes the most accurate email. So I repeat, the question is, you need to write an email to Bhavya Reddy giving her the details of procedure of deleting temp files from her desktop. You need to make sure you use all the keywords. Minimum word count is 50. You need to use the same addressing and signing which is mentioned on the question. You should not be making grammatical mistakes or punctuation mistakes. You will lose points. And here are the keywords. D drive, delete, clean up, temp files, restart, system, speed, cookies, browser, procedure. Alright. So I hope this was helpful for today. Tomorrow I am really keen to see how many of you send the right responses, because I need to see how many of you are actually following this program and learning something. Based on that, I will give you more example, but tomorrow's session will be more intense. Now when I say tomorrow, it doesn't mean it's 15th of August. We are all going to celebrate Independence Day. So tomorrow we do not have a session, but day after what I'm talking about. So day after when we meet, I'm going to give you the basics of email writing skills, how the structure should look like, where you end up making mistakes. I will speak a bit on the common spelling mistakes that we end up doing and how to avoid it as well. Alright, so have a great day. I'll see you guys day after, and please, you have 2 days time. Please write as many times as possible. You can send your email like 5 or 6 times on the comment section. Absolutely fine, as long as it's making you perfect. Alright, have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Hello students, good morning. In the last class we have discussed about the sales orders and purchase orders, right? In today's topic we are going to discuss about debit notes and credit notes. Okay, so what is a debit note? Debit note is nothing but the debit note is a document which is issued from a supplier to the seller or seller to the supplier for the purpose of purchase returns or any rate difference in purchases, right? And what is a sales order? This is also like opposite document. Credit note is nothing but it's a disbursement document issued by the purchaser to the seller or seller to the purchaser, okay, for any sales returns or for any adjustments in rates for the sales items. Okay, so let's see the screen. We are going to see what we are going to do now. Okay, what's debit note? A debit note is a commercial document issued by a buyer to the seller as a means of formal requesting, okay, a credit note. అంటే మన డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తున్నాం ఎందుకు వేరే వాళ్ళని సపోజ్ సింపుల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ మన బుక్స్లో డెబిట్ అయితే వేరే బుక్స్లో క్రెడిట్ అవుతుంది. అంటే మన బుక్స్లో డెబిట్ అంటే అవతల వాళ్ళ బుక్స్లో క్రెడిట్, మన బుక్స్లో క్రెడిట్ అంటే అవతల బుక్స్ వాళ్ళతో డెబిట్, అంతే కదా. సో అందుకని డెబిట్ నోట్ ఈస్ అ కమర్షియల్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఇష్యూడ్ బై అ బయర్ టు ద సెల్లర్ యాజ్ అ మీన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫార్మల్లీ రిక్వెస్టింగ్ ఏ క్రెడిట్ నోట్. అంటే వాళ్ళకి క్రెడిట్ నోట్ రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాము, మేము మీకు డెబిట్ నోట్ చేస్తున్నాము, మేము క్రెడిట్ నోట్ చేయండి అని రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాము. Debit note acts as the source document to the purchase returns. Okay, purchase return journal. This is the source document issued for the purchase returns. In other words, it is an evidence for the occurrence of an reduction in expenses. సో నథింగ్ బట్ ఇంకేమైనా ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ మనం తగ్గించాలి అనుకున్నప్పుడు కూడా ఈ యొక్క డెబిట్ నోట్ మనం ఇష్యూ చేస్తాము. సో ఎక్స్పెన్స్ ఎప్పుడు తగ్గిస్తాము? సపోజ్ మనకు 1000 రూపీస్ రావాల్సిన పర్చేస్ని మనం 200 రూపీస్కి తను మనకి ఇచ్చాడు, ఆ 200 రూపీస్ రెడ్యూస్ చేయాలి. ఎలా రెడ్యూస్ చేస్తాము? త్రూ దిస్ డెబిట్ నోట్ డాక్యుమెంట్. ఓకే, the seller might also issue a debit note instead of invoices in order to adjust upward the amount of an invoice already issued, okay, as if the invoice is recorded in a wrong value. అంటే మనము పర్చేస్ చేసిన ఏదైతే బిల్లు ఉంటుందో, మనం పర్చేస్ చేసిన ఏదైతే బిల్లు ఉంటుందో ఆ బిల్లు రాంగ్ వాల్యూ వచ్చినప్పుడు దాన్ని ఎలా అడ్జస్ట్ చేస్తాం? ఎందుకంటే వన్స్ ద పర్చేస్ document is issued, it cannot be changed, it cannot be altered. Okay, suppose for example మేము ఒక 1,50,000 రూపీస్ మెటల్ ఆర్డర్ చేసాము, ఓకేనా. కానీ మన సప్లయర్ ఏం చేశాడు, 1,50,000 కాకుండా 1,75,000 డాక్యుమెంట్ ఇష్యూ చేసేస్తాడు, మనకు మెటల్ కూడా పంపించేస్తాడు, మనం యాక్సెప్ట్ కూడా చేసాము. బట్ వెన్ సీన్ బై ద అంటే ఆ డాక్యుమెంట్ మన పర్చేస్ ఆర్డర్తో అకౌంట్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ కంపేర్ చేసినప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి విషయం తెలిసింది ఏంటంటే యాక్చువల్గా మనం ఆర్డర్ పెట్టింది 1,50,000, అంటే ఈ పలానా ఐటమ్స్ మనం ఏవైతే రిసీవ్ చేసుకున్నామో అది 1,50,000కి రావాలి, కానీ వాళ్ళు 1,75,000కి చేశారు. ఇప్పుడు ఈ 1,75,000 మనం బిల్ మళ్ళీ వాపస్ పంపించి దాన్ని ఆల్టర్నేట్ చేయలేం, అవునా. లేదా ఒకసారి వాళ్ళ డాక్యుమెంట్లో రిటర్న్స్లో కూడా ఫైల్ అయిపోయి ఉంటాయి, వాళ్ళ ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ రిటర్న్స్ కానీ లేదా సేల్స్ ట్యాక్స్ రిటర్న్స్ కానీ లేదా జిఎస్టీ రిటర్న్స్ కూడా ఫైల్ అయిపోయి ఉంటాయి. అప్పుడు మనం దాన్ని ఆల్టరేషన్ చేయలేం కదా. సో అది ఇప్పుడు ఎలా చేయాలి? ఓకే, ఫర్ దట్ పర్పస్ దిస్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఈజ్ ఇష్యూడ్. ఓకే, విల్ రేజ్ ఎ డెబిట్ నోట్. ఓకే, మనం డెబిట్ నోట్ రేస్ చేసి దాన్ని అడ్జస్ట్ చేస్తాము. సో డెబిట్ నోట్, సో మనం డెబిట్ నోట్ ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నాము? జస్ట్ వీఆర్ గివింగ్ ఇన్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దట్ టు ద సప్లయర్ దట్ సార్ వీఆర్ మేకింగ్ ఎ డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇన్ అవర్ బుక్స్ ఇన్ యువర్ అకౌంట్. ఓకే, నాకు చిన్న అకౌంట్ చిన్న ఇది కూడా ఉంది, నేను చూపిస్తాను మీకు. నెక్స్ట్ సీ స్క్రీన్. వాట్ ఈస్ అ క్రెడిట్ నోట్? A credit note is a commercial document issued by a seller to the buyer. A credit note acts as a source of document for sales return journal. In other words, the credit note is an evidence of the reduction in sales. Ante simple. A debit note opposite credit note note opposite debit note. Now if you can see here, for example, I am purchasing goods from Godrej. So I am goods purchase chesam Godrej nundi. Appudu entry em vastundi? When you are purchasing goods from Godrej account data to పర్చేజ్ అకౌంట్ డేటా టు గోద్రేజ్ వస్తుంది, అవునా. పర్చేజ్ అకౌంట్ డేటా టు గోద్రేజ్ వస్తుంది. సో పర్చేస్లో గోద్రేజ్ వచ్చింది, గోద్రేజ్లో బై పర్చేజెస్ 1,25,000 1,25,000 కరెక్ట్ అయిపోయింది. సో ఇక్కడ చూసినట్టయితే బై పర్చేస్ 1,50,000 ఉంది, బట్ ఇది 1,25,000 పడాలి, బట్ 1,50,000 అయిపోయింది, మనం తీసేస్తాం. అప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాము, మన డెబిట్ అంటే ఈ క్రెడిట్ వాల్యూని తగ్గించాలి. we have to reduce this credit value of rupees 1,50,000. then how we have to reduce? We can't make any corrections here, we can't strike it and write 1,50,000 1,25,000. we will write in debit value, అంతే కదా. ఇప్పుడు మన క్రెడిట్ వాల్యూ అంటే క్రెడిట్ వాల్యూ తగ్గించాలంటే డెబిట్ సైడ్ లో రాస్తాం. డెబిట్ వాల్యూ ఏం రాస్తాం, టు డెబిట్ నోట్ అని రాసి దేని గురించి అని రాసి ఇక్కడ అమౌంట్ రాస్తాం, ఎంత అడ్జస్ట్ చేయాలంటే అలా చేస్తాం. సో అలాగే క్రెడిట్ నోట్ కూడా ఉంటుంది మనకి. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఇదే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గోద్రేజ్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు గోద్రేజ్ అక్కడ 2 సేల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, గోద్రేజ్ 2 సేల్స్ 1,25,000 ఉంటుంది, అనేక 1,25,000 వచ్చింది. సో మరి దాన్ని తగ్గించాలి, అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారు, క్రెడిట్ నోట్ రాస్తాం. అంటే మన క్రెడిట్ వాల్యూ తగ్గించాలంటే డెబిట్ లో రాయాలి కాబట్టి డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తాము. క్రెడిట్ లో ఉన్న వాల్యూని డెబిట్ లో ఉన్న వాల్యూని రెడ్యూస్ చేయాలంటే క్రెడిట్ లో రాయాలి కాబట్టి క్రెడిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తాం. సో వన్స్ అగైన్ ఐఎమ్ రిపీటింగ్, if any value recorded on credit side and that want to be altered, okay, that altered amount should be written on debit side. So we'll issue a debit note saying the reason and amount. మనం ఏదన్నా వాల్యూని క్రెడిట్ లో ఉన్న వాల్యూని తగ్గించాలంటే దాన్ని స్ట్రైక్ ఆఫ్ చేయలేం కాబట్టి మనం దాన్ని డెబిట్ సైడ్ లో రాసి మనము రెడ్యూస్ చేస్తాము. డెబిట్ సైడ్ లో రాసి మనం రెడ్యూస్ చేస్తాము కాబట్టి మనం డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తాము. అలాగే ఏమన్నా ఐటమ్స్ క్రెడిట్ సైడ్ లో ఉంటుంది, దాన్ని రెడ్యూస్ చేయాలి అంటే మనం క్రెడిట్ సైడ్ రాయాలి. ఓకేనా, అందుకే క్రెడిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తాము. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై డెబిట్ నోట్ అండ్ క్రెడిట్ నోట్ ఈస్ ఇష్యూడ్. Now see how to activate in the debit note in Tally. So debit note activation, gateway of Tally, F-line features, accounting features or inventory features. Accounting features లో కానీ inventory features లో కానీ ఈ 3 అనే ఆప్షన్స్ మనం ఎస్ చేసుకోవాలి. Use debit note and credit note, yes. Record credit note in invoice mode, yes. Record debit note in invoice mode, yes. ఈ 3ని ఎస్ చేస్తాం. ఇన్వాయిస్ మోడ్ ఎందుకంటే మనం బయటి వాళ్ళకి ఇన్వాయిస్ ఇవ్వడానికి ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఇన్వాయిస్ ఫార్మాట్ లో వేయాలి, మనం ఏమైనా గూడ్స్ రిటర్న్ చేస్తున్నాము అంటే అది ఇన్వాయిస్ ఫార్మాట్ లోనే మనం రిటర్న్ చేస్తాం కదా. సో అందుకని ఆ ఇన్వాయిస్ మోడ్ కూడా యాడ్ చేద్దాం. నౌ లెట్స్ సీ ఎఫ్లైన్ ఫీచర్స్, అకౌంటింగ్ ఫీచర్స్ కానీ, సో అకౌంటింగ్ ఫీచర్స్ అన్నాం ఇక్కడ, అకౌంటింగ్ ఫీచర్స్ కానీ లేదా ఇన్వెంటరీ ఫీచర్స్ కానీ ఎక్కడైనా సెవెన్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, సో గణపతి ఫర్నిచర్స్, సో use debit notes, yes. Record credit note invoice mode, yes. Record invoice mode, record debit note in invoice mode, yes. Record credit note in invoice mode, yes. So now debit notes and credit notes are activated. Okay, so for this you need an example, right? So I have taken some some transactions here. Okay, right? సో పర్చేస్ చేస్తేనే పర్చేస్ రిటర్న్ కి ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇక్కడ పర్చేస్ రిటర్న్ కి 2 మోడ్స్ చూపిస్తాను మీకు, ఒకటేమో విత్ ఇన్వెంటరీ, ఒకటేమో వితౌట్ ఇన్వెంటరీ. హౌ టు డూ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు సీ నౌ. సో పర్చేజ్ ఉంది, ఓకే, డేట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, పార్టీ నేమ్. సో ఫస్ట్ విల్ క్రియేట్ దిస్ అకౌంట్స్ అండ్ విల్ డూ రైట్. సో ఫస్ట్ పార్టీ నేమ్ కావాలి, అకౌంటింగ్ ఇన్ఫో లెడ్జర్స్ క్రియేట్ ఎల్జీ అండ్ కో అండర్ సన్రీ క్రెడిటార్స్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ అందర్ పార్టీ ఒకటేగా క్రియేట్ చేసాం. నెక్స్ట్ ఐటమ్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, ఇన్వెంటరీ ఇన్ఫో స్టాక్ ఐటమ్స్ క్రియేట్. ఐటమ్స్ ఏమున్నా మనకి ఎల్జీ ఫ్రిడ్జ్, ఓకే, నంబర్స్ రైట్. అలాగే ఎల్జీ టీవీ నంబర్స్ రైట్. సో పర్చేస్ అకౌంట్ కూడా క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. సో ఐ హోప్ let's see purchase account is there, purchase account, sorry, we have to create an account, right? Accounting info ledgers create. So already purchase account is there, again there is no need to create, right? So first we'll enter the purchase, then against that we are going to enter the purchase returns. So voucher entry, F9 purchase. So give some, what is the reference number, that is 10, give the reference number 10. Party name is Godrej, sorry, LG & Co. Okay, purchase. Right, next name of the item, what you are purchasing, LG fridge. Okay, any purchase chesam LG fridge 20, rate enta 17,500. Okay, alage LG TV, reference number 20, LG & Co. LG TV, any purchase chesam LG TV 25, rate is 10,000. Okay, next again 30, LG and company. See, ఇక్కడ ఒక అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే యాక్చువల్గా ఎల్జీ ఫ్రిడ్జ్ అనేది మనకు 17,500 కావాలి, కానీ 15,500 కి బిల్ అయింది. దీన్ని ఎట్లా ఆల్టర్ చేయాలో మనం చూద్దాం. సో ఫస్ట్ వి ఎంటర్ వాట్ వి హావ్ రిసీవ్డ్. ఐటమ్ ఇస్ ఎల్జీ ఫ్రిడ్జ్, quantity is 25, rate is 18,500. Again 40, LG and company, purchase, name of the item is LG TV. Okay, quantity is 15, 9,000. Okay, 9,000 కి వచ్చింది బిల్, తక్కువ వచ్చింది. Okay, this is the thing. Purchase చేసాము. Now we are returning the goods. ఇవేమో quantity return చేసాము, ఇవేమో rate difference ఉంది. Then how to do that? So go for accounting vouchers. So purchase returns కాబట్టి select the debit note, original invoice number, అంటే ఏ ఇన్వాయిస్ నంబర్ కి మనము ఇవి రిటర్న్ చేస్తున్నాము. ఒరిజినల్ ఇన్వాయిస్ నెంబర్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఏదో ఐటమ్ వచ్చింది, ఇప్పుడు ఈ టీవీ ఫ్రిడ్జ్ రెండు వాపస్ చేసాము, రిటర్న్ చేసాము. ఈ ఫ్రిడ్జ్ ఏ ఇన్వాయిస్ నెంబర్ లో వచ్చింది మనకి, ఇన్వాయిస్ నెంబర్ 10. ఓకే, నేమ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఐటమ్ వాట్ వి హావ్ రిటర్న్డ్, ఎల్జీ ఫ్రిడ్జ్. ఓకే, ఎన్ని క్వాంటిటీ రిటర్న్ చేసాము, 2 చేసాము, 17,500. రైట్, అలాగే ఇంకొకటి డెబిట్ నోట్ నెంబర్ 2. ఓకే, ఒరిజినల్ ఇన్వాయిస్ నెంబర్ ఇస్ వాట్, 20. The original invoice number is 20. Then put original invoice number 20. LG purchase item LG TV. ఎన్ని వాపస్ చేసాము, 2 వాపస్ చేసాము. ఒకటి ఎంత, 10,000. రైట్, నౌ వి హావ్ రిటర్న్. సో దీన్ని మనం ప్రింట్ తీసుకొని పంపించాల్సి ఉంటుంది డెబిట్ నోట్ ని. ఓకేనా, so alt P. Okay, see the preview. So you can see debit note here. Okay, ఏం వాపస్ చేసాం, description of goods. Okay, quantity ఎన్ని, rate ఎంత అయింది, వాపస్ చేసాం. Okay, this is also just like if you are invoice. Okay, now this is done. Now here we are not returning the goods. If you are seeing the debit note 3 and 4, if you are seeing this debit note 3 and 4, okay, this whole thing here we are not returning the goods. ఈ yellow color లో ఏదైతే ఉందో మనం ఇక్కడ goods వాపస్ చేయలేదు, కానీ రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంది. The first one, in the first 2 things we have returned the goods, right? But in the third and fourth we are not returning the goods, but we are not returning the goods here. There is a rate difference. అంటే దాని రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ కోసం మళ్ళీ గూడ్స్ వాపస్ చేసి మళ్ళీ తీసుకురాలేం కదా, రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్. దానికి ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది, అవునా? ఈ 2 ఎందుకు వాపస్ చేసాము, సపోజ్ దర్ ఇస్ అ డ్యామేజ్ అనుకోండి, ఏదైనా డ్యామేజ్ చేసినప్పుడు, అంటే మన ఇక్కడ బిల్ నెంబర్ 10 బిల్ నెంబర్ 20లో ఫ్రిడ్జ్లు టీవీలు పర్చేస్ చేస్తాము, ఇందులో ఏమైనా డ్యామేజ్ వచ్చి ఉంటే కనుక మనం వాపస్ చేస్తాం. అంటే ఫిజికల్ గా గూడ్స్ అనేది మూవ్మెంట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకేనా, రైట్. బట్ ఇన్ 30 and 40, in purchase of 30 and 40 the goods are good, but there is a rate difference. What is the rate difference అంటే 17,500 రాయాల్సింది 18,500 కి ఇచ్చారు, అవునా? సో there is a difference of how much rupees, 1,000 rupees. There is a difference of 1,000 rupees. So 25 into 1,000 rupees మనకి డిఫరెన్స్ రావాలి, 25,000. అలాగే ఇక్కడ కూడా 10,000 ఉంది, బట్ 9,000, అవునా? సో ఇక్కడ నాట్ ఇన్ దస్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ 10,000 ఉంది, అంటే ఇక్కడ తక్కువ బిల్లింగ్ వచ్చింది మనకి, అవునా? సో ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేయాలి? Okay, how to do that now? So first we try to post this 25,000 entry. Okay, so rate difference, right? So how to post this rate difference now? Okay, what is the bill number? That is debit note number 3. What's your invoice number? Enti dindi. What's your invoice number? 30. So put 30. Okay, what is the party name? LG. Purchase. ఐటమ్ అడుగుతుంది, బట్ ఐటమ్ లో మనం వాపస్ చేయట్లేదు, అవునా? వీఆర్ నాట్ రిటర్నింగ్ ద గూడ్స్, బట్ అన్లెస్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ గివింగ్ ద ఐటమ్ ద కర్సర్ విల్ నాట్ మూవ్ హియర్. దెన్ హౌ టు డూ? ఓకే, దెన్ హౌ టు డూ దిస్? సో హియర్ క్లిక్ ఆన్ అకౌంటింగ్ ఇన్వాయిస్, క్లిక్ ఆన్ అకౌంటింగ్ ఇన్వాయిస్. సో ఇన్ అకౌంటింగ్ ఇన్వాయిస్ యూ క్యాన్ మేక్ ఇట్. ఓకే, సో it should be deducted from purchase, right? So purchase account debit చేస్తాం. అమౌంట్ ఎంత? 25,000. ఓకేనా? ఇక్కడ అమౌంట్ ఎంత? 25,000 అనుకున్నాం కదా, ఆ 25,000 ఇవ్వాలి. రైట్? సో దిస్ ఇస్ యువర్ 25,000. నౌ లెట్స్ సీ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ ఫర్ అన్ ఎల్జీ కంపెనీ అకౌంట్. దిస్ ఇస్ యువర్ ఎల్జీ కంపెనీ, రైట్? సో 1 2 3 4 మేము 4 పర్చేస్ చేస్తాం, అవునా? 3,50,000, 2,50,000, 4,62,500, 1,35,000 4 పర్చేస్ చేసాము. దీనిలో ఈ రెండింటికి రిటర్న్స్ ఉన్నాయి, 35,000, 20. ఓకే, నౌ ఇఫ్ యూ టేకింగ్ ద 8th వన్, అంటే మనం ఇప్పుడు ఈ 1,35,000 ఇన్వాయిస్ చూసినట్టయితే, ఈ 1,35,000 ఇన్వాయిస్ చూసినట్టయితే యాక్చువల్ ఇక్కడ మనకి ఎంత ఉండాలి? 10,000 ఉండాలి, అవునా? అంటే ఇట్ షుడ్ బి, ద ఇన్వాయిస్ షుడ్ బి హౌ మచ్? 15,000 into 10 అంటే 1,50,000 ఉండాలి. కానీ మనకి 1,35,000 ఉంది, అవునా? ఇట్ షుడ్ బి 1,25,000. దిస్ షుడ్ బి, అంటే ఇన్వాయిస్ చూసినట్టయితే 3,75,000 ఉండాలి, కానీ 3,75,000 ఉండాలి, కానీ 4,75,000 ఉంది, అంటే ఎక్కువ ఉంది. ఓకేనా? ఆర్ యూ అబ్జర్వింగ్? ఇట్ ఈస్ గ్రేటర్, ఇట్ ఈస్ లెస్సర్. ఇది గ్రేటర్ ఉంది, ఇది లెస్సర్ ఉంది. అందుకనే ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాలి? ఈ యొక్క ఇన్వాయిస్ అయితే 4,62,000 ఉందో, ఈ 4,65,000 ఏదైతే ఉందో అది తగ్గాలి కాబట్టి మనం డెబిట్ చేసాం. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఇన్వాయిస్ పెరగాలి, మనకి 1,35,000 షుడ్ బి ఇంక్రీజ్. యాక్చువల్లీ 1,35,000 చేశాడు, కానీ 1,35,000 ఇట్ షుడ్ బి 1,50,000, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ 1,35,000. అంటే ఈ అమౌంట్ ఇంకా పెరగాలి, అంటే ఈ ఇన్వాయిస్ 1,35,000 కాదు, 1,50,000 ఉండాలి. సో దేర్ ఇస్ ఎ డిఫరెన్స్ ఆఫ్ 15,000. అంటే 15,000 డెబిట్ చేయాలా, క్రెడిట్ చేయాలా? డెబిట్ చేస్తే ఇంకా తగ్గుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఈ 3,50,000 35 సెట్ అయిపోయింది, ఈ 2,50,000 20 సెట్ అయిపోయింది, ఇది కరెక్ట్ అయిపోయింది. కానీ 1,35,000 ఉండాలి, బట్ ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఇంక్రీజ్. సో అది క్రెడిట్ చేయాలి మనం. ఓకే, సో అందుకనే డెబిట్ నోట్, క్రెడిట్ నోట్ అంటే సేల్స్ రిటర్న్స్. నేను స్టార్టింగ్ క్లాసెస్ లో చెప్పాను, డెబిట్ నోట్, క్రెడిట్ నోట్ అంటే సేల్స్ రిటర్న్స్ కి, పర్చేస్ రిటర్న్స్ కి కాదు, రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ కూడా యూజ్ చేస్తాము. ఓకే స్టూడెంట్స్, బీ వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్ హియర్. సో ఇన్ ద థర్డ్ వన్, ఓకేనా, మీరు రెండిట్లో చూసినట్టయితే ఇక్కడ అంటే మనకి 4,37,500 ఉండాలి, కానీ 4,60,000 ఎక్కువ ఉంది, అంటే క్రెడిట్ ఎక్కువ ఉంది. అది తగ్గించడానికి మనం డెబిట్ నోట్ చేసాము. ఇది తక్కువ చేశాడు బిల్లు, కానీ అది ఎక్కువ ఉండాలి, కానీ తక్కువ చేశాడు. సో ఇంకా మనం క్రెడిట్ నోట్ చేయాలి దాన్ని. ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ, ఇట్ షుడ్ బి 1,50,000, అంటే ఇక్కడ 1,50,000 ఉండాల్సిన ప్లేస్ లో 1,35,000 ఉంది. Then how to do that? Okay, for this purpose we have to go for credit note. అంటే క్రెడిట్ నోట్, డెబిట్ నోట్ ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేస్తాము? డెబిట్ నోట్ అంటే ఎక్స్పెన్సెస్ వాల్యూని తగ్గించడానికి, క్రెడిట్ నోట్ అంటే వాల్యూ పెంచడానికి. ఎక్కడ? ఈ క్రెడిటార్ ప్లేస్ లో అది. ఓకే, సో అగైన్ ఐ యామ్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ క్రెడిట్ నోట్. What's your invoice number? What is that? What's your invoice number? What's your invoice number is 50. Okay, party name LG. Okay, purchase. Okay, it is not allowing purchases, right? Okay, actually should show purchase here. Okay, what is the original invoice number is 15, take 15. Purchase తీసుకోవాలి యాక్చువల్లీ ఇక్కడ ఇట్స్ నాట్ యాక్సెప్టింగ్. Okay, so you take some purchase account. What is the amount? Difference is 15,000. Let's see now. Sorry, LG and Company. Now if you observe, LG and Company 50. Actually purchase account రావాలి ఇక్కడ, but I know why it is not coming here. Or you put an F7 journal. F7 journal లో చూద్దాం వస్తుందేమో. రైట్, మీరు F7 జర్నల్లో తీసుకొని చేయండి. ఓకే, యూ టేక్ ఇన్ F7 జర్నల్ అండ్ డూ ఇట్. రైట్, సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద వే. ఓకే, రైట్, నౌ లెట్ వి సీ గో ఫర్ సేల్స్ రిటర్న్. సో వన్స్ అగైన్ రిపీటింగ్ హియర్. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ ద రేట్ ఈస్ మోర్ దెన్, అంటే మనకి బిల్లింగ్ కావాల్సిన దానికన్నా ఎక్కువ బిల్లింగ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, డెబిట్ నోట్లో చేయండి. మన బిల్లింగ్ కావాల్సిన దానికన్నా తక్కువలో అయింది అనుకోండి, అది మీరు జర్నల్లో చేయండి. ఓకే, నౌ లెట్స్ గో ఫర్ సేల్స్ రిటర్న్స్. నౌ సేల్స్. Okay, now sales is TMC Musicals. I am creating account of TMC Musicals. Accounting info, ledgers, create TMC Musicals under sundry debtors. Okay, now first we are going to make the sales entry. Okay, reference number is S1. I am putting as S1. S1 is the reference number. Party name is TMC Musicals. What are the items you are selling? So again it is in particulars. Particulars ante accounting mode. So how to convert it? You click on Alt I or press item invoice. Press item invoice. Okay, press item invoice. You get the item invoice mode. Okay, go for sales. Name of the item what you are selling here is LG fridge. LG fridge. Okay, quantity any 10, 20,000. Okay, that's all. 2 lakhs. Okay, again malli S2 is the reference number. Okay, party name is, what is the party name? Party name is TMC Musicals. Okay, what we are selling here is LG TV. Okay, how many we are selling here is 15. The rate is 15,000. Okay, next TMC Musicals again. invoice number is S3 S.3, party name is TMC Musicals, sales item is LG fridge, quantity is 10, 18,500. చూడు తక్కువ చేస్తాం మనం బిల్లింగ్ ఇక్కడ. it should be okay, rate should be 18,000 but we have billed for 18,500. Rate should be 15,000 but we have billed for 12,000. So that should be done in credit note. Yes, 4. TVNE 15, 12,000. Sales returns. So sales return is F9 credit, F8 credit note. What's the invoice number? What is that? What's the invoice number is S1. Okay, what's the number is S1. What is the party name is TMC Musicals. Select sales. Name of the item is LG fridge. Okay, to writing it is 20,000. Okay, first one 20,000, 20,000. Okay, next 15,000. What's the invoice number is S2. Okay, TMC Musicals. Name of the item is LG TV. Any quantity return వచ్చాయి 2, 15,000. రైట్ ఇక్కడ యాక్చువల్గా ఏం చేస్తున్నాం మనము ఐటమ్ అంటే ఎల్జీ ఫ్రిడ్జ్ ఇది ఇక్కడ అంతా ఓకే బట్ రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ షుడ్ బి బిల్డ్ ఫర్ 20,000 బట్ వీ హావ్ బిల్డ్ ఫర్ 18,500. ఇట్ షుడ్ బి టేకెన్ యాజ్ క్రెడిట్ నోట్ ఇన్ అకౌంటింగ్ ఇన్వాయిస్. Party name is TMC Musicals. Okay, particulars lo it should be affected sales account. Go for sales account. Okay, 18,500 undali. Actually ఎంత ఉండాలి బిల్లింగ్ 10,000 ఉండాలి బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫర్ 18,000. సో డిఫరెన్స్ ఎంత ఉంది మనకి 20,000 minus 15,000 into 15. So 20,000 minus 18,000, so 1,500. So 1,500 into 10 is 15,000, 1,50,000, right? So 1 lakh, there is a difference, 1,500 into 10. So there is a difference of 1,50,000 rupees. So there is a difference of 15,000 rupees. So 15,000. రైట్, అలాగే ఇది కూడా మనకి ఎంత 15,000 ఉండాల్సింది 12,000 చేస్తాం. ఇట్ షుడ్ బి 15,000. ఓకే, బట్ వీ హావ్ డన్ ఫర్ లెస్. సో హౌ మెనీ క్వాంటిటీ 3,000 into 15, it should be 45,000. So again select S4. Okay, again TMC Musicals. Okay, sales account amount is 45,000. Right, suppose think that the rate difference is, it should be actually 15 చేయాల్సింది 16,000 చేసాం అనుకున్నా. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాము, అప్పుడు క్రెడిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేయాలి, డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేయాలి. బట్ డెబిట్ నోట్ విల్ నాట్ టేక్ ద ఓకే ఫ్రమ్ టీఎం. డెబిట్ నోట్ చేసినాం కరెక్టే, కానీ సేల్స్ ఇక్కడ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయదు. అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి మనము, F7 జర్నల్లో టీఎంసీ మ్యూజికల్స్ తీసుకొని 16,000 తీసుకొని ఇక్కడ మీరు క్రెడిట్ సేల్స్ అకౌంట్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద సొల్యూషన్ హౌ టు డూ. యూ హ్యావ్ టు చెక్ ఇన్ జర్నల్స్ and save it. Okay, I'm not saving it, just I'm showing to you. So these are the situations. Okay, so once again I'm repeating, please see the class. Right, so purchase account lo first ikkada em chesamu, purchase we have done 10 items, quantity is 20, rate is 17,500, 3,50,000. అంటే ఫస్ట్ 2 ట్రాన్సాక్షన్లో దే ఆర్ కరెక్ట్గా పర్చేస్ చేసాము, ఓకేనా, అవి ఇక్కడ డిఫాల్ట్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి రిటర్న్ చేసాము. ఓకే, సెకండ్లో 17,500 రేట్ ఉండాలి కానీ 18,500 రేట్ ఎక్కువ చేసాం, మర్చిపోయి రేట్ ఎక్కువ బిల్లింగ్ చేసాం. ఇక్కడ రేట్ తక్కువ బిల్లింగ్ చేసాం, ఎక్కువ చేసాము తక్కువ చేసాం. సో ఎక్కువ చేసినప్పుడు రేట్ ఏమవుతుంది, సో మనం క్రెడిట్ లెటర్ ఎక్కువ చూపిస్తాం కాబట్టి అది తగ్గించాలి కాబట్టి డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తాం, రైట్. సో ఫర్ దిస్ 18,500 we have issued an debit note. Okay, but here what happens, 10,000 కావాల్సింది 9,500 ఉంది. Here we have to issue credit note because it should be increased, but credit note will not done, so we are doing in journal. Okay, is the two things. అట్లాగే సేల్స్ లో కూడా ఫస్ట్ వన్ 10 క్వాంటిటీ తీసుకున్నాము, సెకండ్ వన్ 15 క్వాంటిటీ తీసుకున్నాము. ఓకే, సో 10 into 20 2 lakhs, 15 into 1500 2,25,000. Okay, here the 10 we are returning 2 quantity we have returned because there is a default in goods and we have done through invoice mode. Here in third and fourth there is a rate difference. There is a rate difference. What is that rate difference? 20,000 bill చేయాలి కానీ 18,500 తక్కువ చేసాము. ఓకే, సో అందుకనే క్రెడిట్ నోట్ చేసాము, ఇది కూడా క్రెడిట్ నోట్ చేసాము. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 15,000 చేయాలి 12,500 బట్ 16,000 చేసాము అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు మనం అనుకోండి తగ్గించాలి, సో డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేయాలి. సో యాజ్ డెబిట్ నోట్ ఈస్ నాట్ షోయింగ్ ఫర్ సేల్స్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు గో ఫర్ జర్నల్ ఎంట్రీ if it is more. Okay, right. Then how to take the print off of this we are going to see now. Okay, Alt P F12. So this is the credit note you can issue to the party. Okay, and this one without inventory, that also you can say. So you can write that sales and where to write the narration. Okay, అంటే మన సేల్స్ అక్కడ అంటే క్వాంటిటీ ఉంది తెలిసిపోతుంది, బట్ ఇక్కడ మనకి తెలియదు కదా. సో హియర్ యూ కెన్ నరేషన్ been credit note issued for rate difference, ఆ రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ క్వాంటిటీ ఎంత 15,000 అయింది. ఓకే, రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఎంతకి రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఇక్కడ రాయండి. ఓకేనా, రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ being credit note issued for rate difference for 10 numbers quantity. ఓకే, ఆ డీటెయిల్స్ అన్ని ఫర్ 10 numbers quantity, wide invoice number so and so. ఓకేనా, అట్లా అన్ని రాసేసి చేయండి. సో పేజ్ అప్, ప్రెస్ ఆల్ట్ పి, దెన్ యూ క్యాన్ సీ ద నరేషన్. మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు రాసిన నరేషన్ ఎక్కడ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ నేను నరేషన్ కనబట్టలేదు, ఆయన 45,000 అని తెలిసింది, బట్ 45,000 దేనికి ఇస్తున్నాడు ఏదో తెలియదు. Now here what happens, here there is no narration, we have written the narration but there is no narration. Then how to do that? Go for Alt P and press F12. ఓకే, F12 లో చూస్తున్నట్టయితే ఇక్కడ మీకు ఒక ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది ప్రింట్ నరేషన్స్ అని. See in the, you can see a print narrations. Okay, this option print narrations. Okay, now you can see here remarks and continue. Being credit note issued for rate difference for 10 numbers quantity. Okay, while invoice number so and so so and so, that you can have the credit note for the party. Okay, so in today's class we have discussed, so So students, in today's class we have discussed about debit notes and credit notes. Okay, so debit note మనము 2 types లో చేయొచ్చు. ఒకటేమో క్వాంటిటీ వైజ్ గా చేస్తాము, ఒకటేమో క్వాంటిటీ లేకుండా రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు చేస్తాము. సో క్వాంటిటీ వైజ్ ఎప్పుడు చేస్తాము అంటే మనకి రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ డ్యామేజ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు, అంటే 100 వచ్చాయి, 100లో ఒక 20 డ్యామేజ్ అయినాయి. సో అప్పుడు మామూలుగా సేల్స్ ఎలాగ ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తాము, అలాగే పర్చేస్ ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ చేస్తాము, అలాగే మనం పర్చేస్ రిటర్న్ని కూడా డెబిట్ నోట్లో వెళ్ళేసి ఎంత క్వాంటిటీ, ఎంత ఏం రిటర్న్ చేస్తాము, ఎన్ని క్వాంటిటీ రిటర్న్ చేస్తాము, రేట్ ఏంటి అని చేసేసి యాజ్గా మీరు ఎలాగైతే పర్చేస్ ఎంట్రీ చేస్తారో అలాగే డెబిట్ నోట్ అలాగే ఎంట్రీ చేసేసి ప్రింట్అవుట్ తీసి మనం పంపించడం లేదా ఫైలింగ్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. రైట్, రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు. సో రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ప్లీజ్ జాగ్రత్త ఆలోచించండి. డెబిట్ నోట్ అంటే అనుకున్న దాని రేటు కన్నా ఎక్కువకి అమ్ముతే మనకు క్రెడిట్లో ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి మనం డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తాము. ఓకే, పర్చేస్లో మన 100 రూపీస్కి వేయాల్సిన బిల్లు 120కి వేసామనుకో, ఆ పార్టీ నేమ్ మన బుక్స్లో క్రెడిట్లో ఉంటుంది, క్రెడిట్ 120కి ఉంటుంది. ఆ 20 రూపీస్ తగ్గించాలి కాబట్టి డెబిట్ నోట్ వేస్తున్నాము. అదేవిధంగా అదే పర్చేస్ బిల్ 100 కానీ మనము 80కి వేసాము అంటే ఇంకా 20 క్రెడిట్ కావాలి. సో అప్పుడు క్రెడిట్ నోట్ కాకుండా జర్నల్ వోచర్లో మనం ఎంట్రీ చేసుకోవాలన్నమాట. ఓకే, రైట్. వైస్ వర్సా, ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే ఫర్ సేల్స్ రిటర్న్స్ ఆల్సో, వెన్ యూ ఆర్ మేకింగ్ సేల్స్, ఓకే మనం సేల్స్ చేసాము, ఓకే ఒక 50 క్వాంటిటీ సేల్ చేసాము, అందులో ఒక 5 మనకు రిజెక్ట్ అయినాయి అంటే అక్కడ క్వాంటిటీ బాగాలేదు. సో మళ్ళీ మనకు వాపస్ చేయాలి కాబట్టి మన క్రెడిట్ నోట్లో యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సేల్స్ ఎలా అయితే ఎంట్రీ చేస్తున్నామో సేల్స్ రిటర్న్ కూడా అదేవిధంగా సేల్స్ రిటర్న్స్ కూడా మనం ఎంట్రీ చేస్తాము. ఓకే, సేల్స్ రిటర్న్స్ కూడా అదేవిధంగా ఎంట్రీ చేసి ఆ క్వాంటిటీ వేసి ఎంత క్వాంటిటీ ఏంటి అనేది మనం ఇష్యూ చేస్తాము. ఇంకొకటి ఇన్వాయిస్ ఫామ్ అంటే ఇక్కడ రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంది. అంటే మనం 100 రూపీస్ బిల్లింగ్ చేయాల్సింది ఒక 150కి బిల్లింగ్ చేయాల్సింది మనం 130కి బిల్లింగ్ చేస్తామనుకోండి, లేదా 120కి బిల్లింగ్ చేస్తామనుకోండి, 30 రూపీస్ తక్కువ చేస్తాం అవునా, అంటే 30 రూపీస్ డెబిట్ చేస్తాం మన బుక్లో. అంటే సేల్స్ అకౌంట్ పార్టీ అకౌంట్ అటాచ్ టు సేల్స్, పార్టీలో డెబిట్లో 130 ఉంటుంది. అది పెంచడానికి సపోజ్ సోల్ గుడ్స్ గోద్రేజ్ అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు ఎంట్రీ ఏముంటుంది, గోద్రేజ్ అకౌంట్ అటాచ్ టు సేల్స్, గోద్రేజ్లో టు సేల్స్ అని రాస్తాం, సేల్స్లో బై గోద్రేజ్ అని రాస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు సేల్స్ అకౌంట్ ఓపెన్ బై గోద్రేజ్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకేనా, సో అప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, మనం తక్కువ చేస్తాం అక్కడ. సో అందుకని ఆ పార్టీ అకౌంట్ మనం డెబిట్ చేస్తాం అనమాట, అంతేనా. సో గోద్రేజ్ అకౌంట్ అటాచ్ టు సేల్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు గోద్రేజ్ టు సేల్స్ రాస్తాం, అక్కడ డెబిట్ నోట్ 100 రూపీస్ ఉంది. సో ఇంకా మనం ఇంకా యాడ్ చేయాలి కాబట్టి 20 రూపీస్కి డెబిట్ నోట్ కానీ డెబిట్ నోట్ ఇష్యూ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, సో ఇట్లా. సో మనకి అంటే మనం ఆలోచించాల్సింది ఏంటి, మనము పర్చేస్ చేసినప్పుడు అనుకున్న దానికన్నా రేట్ 100 రూపీస్ ఉన్న రేట్ని 120కి చేస్తే తగ్గించడానికి డెబిట్ నోట్ రాస్తాం. సో 120 ఇంకా తక్కువ చేసామనుకోండి జర్నల్లో పోస్ట్ చేయండి. అదేవిధంగా సేల్స్ కూడా అంతే, మనం ఒక 1000 రూపీస్ది 800కి బిల్లింగ్ చేసామనుకోండి క్రెడిట్ నోట్ చేయండి. ఓకే, రైట్, ఆ విధంగా క్రెడిట్ నోట్ చేయాలి. అదేవిధంగా అనుకున్న బిల్లింగ్ కనుక ఇంకా తక్కువ చేస్తామనుకోండి జర్నల్లో పోస్ట్ చేయండి. సో దిస్ ఈస్ హౌ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ విత్ సేల్స్ అండ్ sales orders and purchase orders, right. So see the screen once again. I repeat the class how to activate and all. So first is debit note activation, how to do gateway of tally, F-line features, accounting features and inventory features, right. So man gateway of tally ki vellesi, F-line features lo vellesi, okay, accounting features lo gaani inventory features lo gaani debit మనం మామూలుగా చేసాము. సారీ, ఏమని చెప్పాను ఇక్కడ మనకి ఈ 3 ఆప్షన్స్ మనము డెబిట్ నోట్స్, క్రెడిట్ నోట్స్ 3 ఆప్షన్స్ మనం ఎస్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ యాక్టివేషన్. వన్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్ యాక్టివేటెడ్, then when you go for accounting vouchers you can see the debit notes అండ్ క్రెడిట్ నోట్స్. అది యాక్టివేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత మీరు డెబిట్ నోట్స్ని క్రెడిట్ నోట్స్ని చూడొచ్చు. ఓకే, ఒకవేళ మీకు అది విత్ ఇన్వెంటరీ కావాలంటే ఐటమ్ ఇన్వాయిస్కి వెళ్తారు. ఓకే, ఒకవేళ మీకు అవసరం లేదనుకోండి, వితౌట్ ఇన్వెంటరీ అవసరం లేదనుకోండి, అకౌంటింగ్ ఇన్వాయిస్ వెళ్తారు. సో అకౌంటింగ్ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తాము? దెర్ ఇస్ అ రేట్ డిఫరెన్స్. ఐటమ్ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తాం? దెర్ ఇస్ అ రిటర్న్స్. ఓకే, యాజ్ వోచర్లో కూడా మీరు ఎంట్రీ చేసుకో. యాజ్ వోచర్ జస్ట్ లైక్ యువర్ జర్నల్ ఎంట్రీ. ఓకే, పార్టీ నేమ్ డెబిట్, okay, purchase is credit, or sometimes purchase is purchase debit కాదు మనకి, debit note లో purchase will not debit, that's why you go for F7 and you debit purchases and credit party name. Okay, right? So here debit note in two modes, that is in accounting invoice, one is item invoice, one is accounting invoice. Alage credit note lo item invoice and accounting invoice. Okay, then how to see all these reports? Display, account books, ledgers, TMC musicals. TMC musicals lo man credit note chestam. Credit note anka one book lo man debit chesam kabatti aa value taggali kabatti మనం క్రెడిట్ నోట్ చేస్తాము. ఓకేనా, 2 lakhs ఇస్ సేల్స్, అందులో మనకి రిటర్న్ చేశాడు, సో మైనస్ మన అకౌంట్లో తగ్గాలి కాబట్టి క్రెడిట్ సైడ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, దిస్ వన్. అలాగే 18,500 ఉండాలి, సో ఇంకా క్రెడిట్ కాదు, ఇంకా పెరగాలంటే తగ్గించాలి కదా వాల్యూ అనుకున్న దానికన్నా. ఇక్కడ రేట్ ఎంత ఉండాలి? 20,000 ఉండాలి. బట్ మనం ఏం చేస్తాము? 18,500 తక్కువ ఇస్తాం, ఇంకా పెరగాలి, అందుకని మనము ఇక్కడ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, okay, so this is where how to use the debit notes and credit notes. Okay, right? So students, for today's class we have discussed about debit notes and credit notes. In tomorrow's class and the next class we are going to see about cost centers. Okay, then after we are going to cost centers or bills payables. So sorry, next topic it's better to talk about receivables and payables. So in the next class we are going to discuss about the receivables payables. So bills receivables అంటే మనకి బిజినెస్, దిస్ ఇస్ అ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్. సో మనకి బిల్స్ ఎంత రావాలి, మార్కెట్లో ఉంటే మనకి అమౌంట్ ఎంత కలెక్షన్ రావాల్సి ఉంది, మన మార్కెట్లో ఎంత పేమెంట్ ఇవ్వాల్సి ఉంది, వాళ్ళకి రిమైండర్ లెటర్స్ ఎలా పంపించాలి. రిమైండర్ లెటర్స్ అంటే మనకి డబ్బు పేమెంట్ ఉంటుంది కదా, సో వాళ్ళకి మనకి పేమెంట్ ఇవ్వాల్సినవి అని మన లెటర్ పంపించాలి. సో జనరల్గా మనం ఏం చేస్తాము అంటే రిసీవబుల్స్ పేబుల్స్లో మనం ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ టైప్ చేసి, ఒక లెటర్ డాక్యుమెంట్ డ్రాఫ్ట్ చేసి, వాళ్ళ ఇన్వాయిస్ నెంబర్స్ అన్ని పెట్టేసి మనం వాళ్ళకి మెయిల్ చేస్తాం. సో బట్ ఇన్ టాలీ దెర్ ఈస్ నో నీడ్ టు డూ లైక్ దట్. ఆటోమేటికల్లీ ఆ పార్టీ లెడ్జర్ అకౌంట్కి వెళ్ళేస్తే మన ఏ బిల్స్ డ్యూ ఉన్నాయి, ఎప్పటి నుంచి ఎప్పటి వరకు డ్యూ ఉన్నాయి, ఏజ్ వైజ్ కానీ పార్టీ వైజ్ కానీ ఇవన్నీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మనకు ఉంటుంది. సో డిఫాల్ట్గా లెటర్ కూడా అందులోనే ఉంటుంది. ఆ డిఫాల్ట్ లెటర్ని మనం మెయిల్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు, లేదా దాన్ని ప్రింట్అవుట్ తీసుకొని సైన్ చేసి స్కాన్ చేసి పంపించవచ్చు, లేదా డైరెక్ట్లో టాలీలో నుండే మనం మెయిల్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు, టాలీలో నుండే మనం పీడిఎఫ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ కానీ ఎక్సెల్ ఫైల్లో కూడా కన్వర్ట్ చేసి కూడా చేయొచ్చు అనమాట. సో అలా అది మనం నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్తో డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. ఓకే, టిల్ దెన్ హ్యావ్ ఎ నైస్ డే.
Hi everyone, welcome to Google IT Professional Certificate course. In this session we will going to discuss Introduction to the Computer Hardware Part 4. As per previous session we discussed about computer and basic hardware components. Under that components, first component is processor, second component is primary storage devices, third component is motherboard. The motherboard, what is motherboard? Motherboard is a main circuit board which is used to connect physical devices and hardware components. Some of the components and physical devices will be going to directly or indirectly connected to the motherboard. Those directly or indirectly connected physical devices and components will be managed and controlled by motherboard. Motherboard is a main circuit board. Motherboards are available with different form factors. Those form factors such as MATX, MBTX, Mini ATX, Standard ATX. Yesterday we verified difference between normal computer motherboard and server motherboard. Normal computer motherboard is specially designed to host single processor and it contains 2 RAM slots. Coming to server motherboard is designed to host 2 or more number of processors and 2 or more number of RAM slots. So that reason, noticeable difference between computer and server motherboard is it contains many processors. Servers are high-end configuration computers. As per today's session, we have to discuss to the motherboard. CMOS battery, another component of motherboard. Next component of motherboard is power supply connected. In order to run motherboard need power. The power will be distributed by SMPS. One of the main cable from SMPS will be connected to the motherboard. Another component of motherboard is heatsink. Processor on motherboard will be going to cover with aluminum metal panel. That panel is generally called as a heatsink, which is used to reduce the temperature from processor. Last component of motherboard is front panel connectors. Front panel connectors is nothing but power on button or else restart button or else front side USB connectors. These are generally called as a front panel connectors. This is yesterday's session. As per today's session, we have to discuss input output ports and expansion slots. Everybody look at screen. You can able to see the expansion or reserve slots. Expansion or reserve slots is one of the component of motherboard which is used to extend graphic processor on computer or else graphic card on processor. There are 2 types of expansion or reserve slots are there. Number 1, PCI Express and another one is PCI. PCI stands for Peripheral Component Interconnect. One more type of expansion slot is PCI Express, Peripheral Component Interconnect Express. PCI Express slot size is very small compared with PCI. These 2 slots are generally used to extend computer video adapter. On the screen you can able to identify 2 types of slots. These white color slots are generally called as a PCI Express, PCI cards, and blue color slot is generally called as a PCI Express. These are the expansion and reserve slots, one of the component of motherboard. Let's go through with one more component of the motherboard, that is input output ports. In computer motherboard, in normal computer motherboard, it contains n number of input output ports. Under that first component is USB 2.0. Just give me 1 minute. I need to make some modifications in this computer to highlight the components. Thank you for your great patience. Look at screen. Here on the screen you can able to identify one port, one interface of motherboard, that is input output port USB 2.0. USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. One more port is there, USB 2.0. Under USB 2.0 you can able to identify violet and blue color combination port. It is 6-pin DE connector. That DE connector is generally called as a PS by 2. This PS by 2 connector is generally used to connect old type keyboard and mouses. One more interface, one more input output port from motherboard is VGA. VGA stands for Video Graphic Array. It is 15 DE connector which is used to connect computer monitor. One more interface is available on computer motherboard, that is input output port. That port is DVI. DVI stands for Digital Visual Interface. This DVI port is generally used to connect video sources such as projectors or else some other video sources. On the screen you can able to identify one more input output port. That port is optical S by P. Optical S by P, DIF stands for optical Sony by Philips digital interconnect format. This port is generally used to connect special type audio devices to the computer. One more interface from computer motherboard is HDMI. HDMI stands for high definition multimedia interface. It is used to connect computer monitor, projector or else smart TVs or else digital TVs. One more port or input output interface from computer motherboard is display port. This display port is generally used to connect special type of video sources. This is became outdated. On the screen you can able to see the USB 2.0 two ports are there. Under that USB 2.0 ports you can able to see one more type of port. That port is 1394A. A stands for Apple. This 1394A interface is used to transfer data. It will be going to act as a serial interface. Apple has invented this interface in 1990s. Currently it has become outdated. One more port is eSATA. This interface is generally used to external hard disk drives. One of the important port, input output port of computer motherboard is RJ45. On the screen you can able to see the RJ45 interface. This interface is generally used to connect computer to the network. Network might be private or public network. Private is nothing but within the LAN. In order to connect your computer to the existed LAN, we need to use this interface. That interface is called as a RJ45. Or else to provide internet access to the computers, we have to use this interface. That interface is RJ45 with a wide connection, that is nothing but guided media. One more interface is USB 3.0. On the screen you can able to see the USB 2.0 ports and USB 3.0 ports. What is the main difference between USB 2.0 ports and USB 3.0? The main difference between USB 2.0 and 3.0 is data transmission speed. If you have USB 3.0 pen drive, just connect to your laptop or desktop. Especially you need to connect USB 3.0 pen drive to the USB 3.0 port on your computer. That time you can able to experience with the data transmission speed. That is the main difference between USB 2.0 and 3.0. On input output ports, here you can able to see the audio jack and some other interfaces. These are generally used to connect mic or audio interfaces. These are input output ports of computer. On the screen you can able to see the chipsets. There are two types of chipsets are there. Number one is North Bridge, number two is South Bridge. Earlier we discussed one of the important component of motherboard is chipset. There are two types of chipsets are available on computer motherboard, in server as well as normal computer. In normal computer motherboard you can able to see the two chipset that is called as a North Bridge. Another one is South Bridge. North Bridge is always located near to the processor. It is responsible to control or manage high speed devices like processor or RAM. This North Bridge is generally called as a graphic memory control hub. Why? Because this North Bridge chipset which contains graphic processor. So that reason it is addressed with GMCH, graphic memory control hub. One more chip is South Bridge. South Bridge always located near to the expansion or RAM slots. The main purpose to using South Bridge on computer motherboard is to manage and control low speed devices such as input output devices or else expansion or reserve slots. For example, if I connected USB pen drive to my computer, that connected USB pen drive will be going to managed and controlled by South Bridge. So that reason the South Bridge is called as a input output control hub, IO piece. On the screen you can able to identify North Bridge. It controls the processor and RAM, high speed devices. It placed near to the processor. It also contains graphic processor. So that reason it is called as a graphic memory control hub, GMCH. One more chipset on motherboard, South Bridge. It controls low speed devices like input output ports devices and slots, expansion or reserve slots. It plays near to the slots, which slots, expansion or RAM slots. It is also called as a IOCH, input output control hub. These are the two types of chipsets which are available on computer motherboard. One more component of motherboard is CMOS battery. CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor device. It is a battery which is used to provide power to the CMOS chip to store and update computer data in time, and also it will be going to update the computer running configuration. In your computer, CMOS battery is drained. If CMOS battery is drained in your computer, what will happen? The result in, if you try to restart your computer with drained CMOS battery, computer boot up process will be going to stuck in one page. That page is the second screen. In the second screen, it will be going to show the error message such as computer NVRAM settings are missing. To reset configuration, please press F1. When you try to restart your computer several times, the times you have to press every time F1, F1, F1. That error is nothing but drained CMOS battery. Moreover, CMOS battery is drained or dead, your computer configuration and system data and time will not updated. Every time you need to reset the system data and time as well as configuration. So that reason you have to replace the CMOS battery with new one. Let's see CMOS. Look at screen. CMOS stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor RAM. It is a RAM. It is used to store the date and time and system configuration. CMOS RAM or CMOS chip. In this slide, we have to discuss CMOS battery. The battery which powers this memory is called as a CMOS battery. As per previous session, we discussed CMOS chip always integrated with the south bridge of computer motherboard. The battery which is used to provide power to the CMOS chip is called as a CMOS battery. Okay, battery is different, chip is different. Look at screen. On the screen you can able to see the one more component. The component is SMPS. Up to now we discussed different components of computer. First component of computer is processors, second is primary storage devices, third is motherboard, and motherboard components also over. Fourth component is SMPS. SMPS stands for switched mode power supply. One of the physical device, one of the physical component of computer is SMPS. What is the role and responsibility of this SMPS? On the screen you can able to see the one type of SMPS. This type of SMPSs are generally used in desktops, not in laptops. It is desktop SMPS. The role and responsibility of SMPS is to distributing required amount of power to the different components within the computer. Computer will be going to consist many components and physical devices. To run those components and physical devices which are required some amount of power, that power will be distributed by SMPS. SMPS is a physical device which is used to distribute or deliver required amount of power to the different components and physical devices in the computer to run. Here on the screen you can able to see the SMPS cable set. Under that SMPS cable set, one of the main cable set is 20R 24 pin cable set. The main cable 20R 24 pin cable set is generally connected to the computer motherboard in order to distribute some amount of power to the computer motherboard. On the screen you can able to see the two black color cable set, number 1, number 2. This black color cables generally used to connect SATA hard disk drive or else to connect CD or DVD drive room. And remaining cable set, power cable set, will be going to connect it to the various places of computer motherboard. On the screen you can able to see one more type of SMPS. This type of SMPSs are generally used in servers hardware platform. Desktop SMPS is different, server SMPS is different. In desktops you can able to recognize only one SMPS. Due to power fluctuations, one and only SMPS from desktop is crashed. Computer never going to start normally. But coming to servers hardware platform is specially designed to keep 2 or more number of SMPSs. Unfortunately, primary SMPS is crashed. Secondary SMPS will be going to distribute required amount of power to the different components in the server. That is the main difference between desktop or else normal computer and server. Normal computer hardware platform is specially designed to connect only single SMPS. Server hardware platform is specially designed to maintain 2 or more number of SMPSs. If primary SMPS is crashed due to power fluctuations, secondary SMPS will be going to provide required amount of power to the different components in the server. That is the advantage of server hardware platform. On the screen here you can able to see the SMPS size is very small, but coming to desktop SMPS size is very large. Here one of the troubleshooting step to check the performance of SMPS, especially to check the performance of SMPS, we have to use U-shaped pin or U-shaped cable. For example, I have a SMPS. Currently I am not using n number of SMPSs, those are presented in storeroom. I would like to connect one of the SMPS to the computer. In order to connect SMPS, first you need to check the performance of SMPS. How to check performance of SMPS, whether SMPS is working properly or not, how to check it out. Especially desktop SMPSs contains SMPS fan, right? Just give the power supply to the SMPS and take the main power cable from SMPS, that is nothing but on the screen here you can able to see the 20 or 24 pin connector which is used to connect motherboard to distribute required amount of power. On SMPS main power cable set, one of the cable set is 20 or 24 pin cable set. In the cable set you can able to identify only one green color cable that is available on lock side. On the lock side, fourth cable is green color. In the total cable set you can able to identify only one green color cable, that cable is available on lock side. Okay, take U-shaped cable and connect one of the end to the green cable and connect second end to the outside other side black color cable, any black color. Connect green color cable to other side black color cable. Better to connect other side third black color cable and give the power supply. At the time SMPS fan is rotating, half of the SMPS performance is good. How to check full functionality of SMPS? In order to check full functionality of SMPS, we need to connect the SMPS to the particular desktop and restart your computer. If your computer is restarted normally with the help of replaced SMPS, that time SMPS is working fine. Before replacing SMPS with new one, you can able to check the performance of SMPS by connecting green and black color cable. On lock side green color cable, on other side third black color cable by using U-shaped cable. Okay, and give the power supply and check the SMPS fan is rotating or not. If it is rotating, half of the performance from the SMPS is good. To check the full functionality of SMPS, we need to connect the SMPS to the computer and restart computer. If computer has restarted successfully, that time SMPS is working fine. And one more component of computer is secondary storage devices. On the screen you can able to see the one more component of computer is secondary storage devices. I need some clarification from you. What is the use of secondary storage devices from computer? Already computer is running with primary storage such as RAM or ROM. Why computer will be going to use as secondary storage devices? The main purpose to using secondary storage devices on computer is to store computer OS or else use as personal data. The secondary storage is furtherly classified into different types. That is nothing but secondary storage devices are different types. Number one is magnetic storage devices. Best example to understand magnetic storage devices is hard disk drive, HDD. One more example to understand magnetic storage device is tape drives. Generally tape drives are used to take a backup of users' personal data in servers. It looks like a cassette, VCR or VCP cassette, size is very small. Okay. The reel which contains magnetic coating is called as a tape drive. Tape drives are used to take a backup of user personal data in servers only, not in normal computers. In laptops or desktops, commonly you can able to identify secondary storage devices such as HDD, hard disk drives. Let's see one more type of secondary storage device, that is optical storage device. Best example to understand optical storage devices are compact disc, CD. One more is digital versatile disc, that is called as a DVDs. One more optical storage device type is Blu-ray disc, BRD discs, used to play the games or used to store huge amount of data. The main difference between CD and DVD and BRD is data reading and writing. That is nothing but data accessing and modification is very fast in BRDs and DVDs compared with CDs. Okay, and we can able to store huge amount of data from BRDs or else DVDs. This is second type of storage, secondary storage devices. Third type of secondary storage devices which can be used in computers is flash storage devices. Flash storage devices or pen drives. Pen drives is nothing but flash storage, USB pen drives. And one more is memory card. Memory card is nothing but SD cards. Commonly in our phones, to extend internal memory, we will going to use one special type of chip. That chip is SD card or else memory chip card, that is called as a memory card or SD cards. Pen drive, memory, SD cards, SSD. SSD is nothing but it is a type of hard disk drive, but it will be going to maintain storage type is flash storage, solid state drive, SSHD, solid state hybrid drive. Just try to verify brand new laptops or desktop from Dell or HP or some other companies. Most of the PC manufacturers are giving priority to use one type of hard disk drive. That hard disk drive is SSD or SSHD. SSD and SSHD hard disk drive storage capacity type is flash storage, which doesn't contain any magnetic disk. But coming to normal hard disk drive, HDDs, those hard disk drives such as IDE hard disk drives, HD SATA hard disk drives, SCSI, SAS, this type of hard disk drives contains magnetic disk. The disk will be going to rotate itself. The measurement of the number of spinnings of magnetic disk is generally called as a RPM speed, revolution per minute. The data reading and writing such as data accessing and modification is depends on number of spinnings or rotations of magnetic disk on HDD. That will be going to measures with RPM speed, revolution per minute. But one special type of hard disk drive, that is SSD or SSHD, which doesn't contains any magnetic disk. It is latest type of secondary storage device, which is SSD. SSD hard disk performance is very fast. To improve your computer performance, you have to extend RAM memory. And one more process is you need to replace the old type of hard disk drive with SSD or SSHD. What you understood, computer performance will be going to depends on RAM memory, processor speed as well as type of hard disk drives. If your laptop is running with the latest type of hard disk drive such as SSD or SSHD, that computer performance is robust and moreover data processing speed also very fast. On the screen you can able to identify two types of secondary storage devices. The main purpose to using secondary storage devices on computer is to store computer OS or to store users personal data. Look at screen. On the screen you can able to see tracks and sectors. For example, in my computer I am using HDD. HDD type is SATA hard disk drive. It is a one type of hard disk drive. It contains magnetic disk. That magnetic disk is used to store user personal data or computer OS. How data will be going to stored in magnetic disk of HDD? Normal form of data will be going to stored in the form of tracks. On the screen you can able to see the circles which is highlighted with blue color. Normal form of data will be going to stored on magnetic disk in the form of tracks. Those tracks are used to create sectors. Why we need to create sectors? Sectors are generally used to form clusters. Why we need to create clusters? To form a cluster, first we need to create a sector. To create a sector, we must store our personal data in the form of tracks. My doubt is, why we need to store the user personal data in the form of tracks and sectors and clusters? For the main purpose to storing data in the form of tracks and sectors or cluster is to duplicating data, or else data redundancy purpose. Data redundancy is nothing but duplicating data or OS from particular computer HDD into one place to another place. User personal data will be going to duplicate it from one drive to another drive, one volume to another volume automatically with the help of clusters. Especially in Windows 10 operating system, you can able to create a sectors and clusters for the purpose of data redundancy, duplicating data. In servers, generally one hard disk drive data or OS will be redundanted in another disk. Why? Because server hardware platform is specially designed to connect two or more number of hard disk drives. Primary hard disk drive of server data or OS will be redundanted in secondary hard disk drive. Unfortunately, primary hard disk drive is crashed. You can able to boot your server from secondary hard disk drive without losing single MB data. That is the importance of data redundancy, which will be done by creating or forming clusters. In the same way, in normal computers, especially in Windows 10 OSs, you can able to create sectors and clusters to redundant your data. On the screen, you can able to see one type of hard disk drive, HDD, one type of hard disk drive that is called as a SATA. Right. The SATA type hard disk drives is second generation hard disk drive. First generation hard disk drives is IDE. Some of the users still they are using SATA hard disk drives in their computers. Data reading and writing is slow. In the SATA hard disk drive, you can able to identify 2 or 3 interfaces. First interface is power. To distribute required amount of power to the computer hard disk drive, we need to connect one of the cable set, one of the cable of SMPS to hard disk drive in this location. Second interface of hard disk drive is SATA connector. To connect or else to read or to access data from hard disk drive by computer, we need to connect this hard disk drive to computer motherboard by using second interface, that is called as a SATA interface. To connect hard disk drive to the computer motherboard, we have to use second interface, which is called as a SATA interface. Another one, third interface is jumpers. Jumpers are generally used to change the configuration of particular component in the computer. In latest type of computers or computers or laptops or desktops or servers, you can't verify jumpers on hard disk drives or some other devices. It's outdated. And here on the screen you can able to see the cable. This type of cable is generally used to connect hard disk drive to the computer motherboard. So that reason this cable is called as a SATA cable. SATA hard disk will be going to connect it to the computer motherboard with the help of SATA cable. On the screen you can able to see the one more type of hard disk drive, SCSI, SCSI, small computer system interface. This type of SCSI hard disk drives are generally used in servers hardware platform. The size of the SCSI hard disk is small and thin compared with SATA hard disk drive. SATA hard disk drive size and width is very large, but SCSI hard disk drive size is very small and moreover it is thin. This SCSI hard disk drives are used to maintain huge amount of storage capacity and moreover data reading and writing, that is nothing but accessing and modification from data from SCSI hard disk is very fast compared with SATA hard disk drive. This is SCSI hard disk drive, third generation, third type of hard disk drives. SCSI hard disk will be going to connect it to the server motherboard with the help of SCSI connectors. This is cable. Here on the screen you can able to see ribbon interface. This interface is generally used to connect SCSI hard disk drive to the server motherboard. Instead of using cable, you can able to use this ribbon interface. On the screen you can able to see hard disk drive has kept it in U-shaped tray. This U-shaped tray is generally called as a caddy tray. one physical hard disk drive has kept in U-shaped tray. This U-shaped tray is generally called as a carry tray. Why we are discussing this carry tray? Let's see. One more type of carry tray. On the screen you can able to see the carry tray. This type of carry trays are generally used in rack servers. Rack servers specially designed to connect two or more number of physical disks. Those two or more number of physical disks will be connected to the server with the help of carry trays. How we are inserting VCP or VCP cassette in VCP or VCR player? By ejecting and inserting. In the same way, in order to connect two or more number of physical hard disk drives to the particular server, first we need to eject the carry tray. Once carry tray has ejected and kept the compatible or suitable hard disk drive into the server carry tray and inserted, that particular inserted physical hard disk drive storage capacity will be retrieved or accessed by server. This is carry tray. I am going to show you one server. On the screen you can able to see one server. On right side you can able to see the server. The server contains how many carry trays? Approximately 3, 3, 3 and 3. 12 carry trays are there. This rack server is specially designed to insert or connect 12 physical hard disk drives with the help of 12 different physical carry trays. On left side you can able to see the maximized picture for carry tray. On right side picture, this picture is rack server specially designed to connect how many physical hard disk drives? 12 hard disk drives. Means this in this server as an administrator, as a user, I can able to connect two or more number of physical hard disk drives at a time. All 12 physical hard disk drive storage capacity will be accessed by server. As per previous sessions and today's session, what you understood? What is the main difference between normal computer and server configuration? Normal computer hardware platform is designed to host single processor with restricted speed, and moreover normal computer hardware platform is designed to install only 2 dynamic RAMs on 2 dynamic RAM slots. Normal computer hardware platform is designed to connect 1 or 2 physical hard disk drives. But what about server? Server hardware platform is specially designed to maintain or host 2 or more number of processors, and we can able to install 2 or many dynamic RAMs, and we can able to connect 2 or more number of physical hard disk drives. So that reason server configuration is high end. Noticeable difference between normal computer and server is configuration. Servers are high end configuration computers. Okay. In this session you guys are understood, right? I would like to show one more thing. In the first session, introduction to the computer hardware part 1, I gave little bit information about computer configuration, and here I am using one computer. I would like to check computer configuration. How to check my computer configuration? How to check my server configuration? There are different ways to check your computer or server configuration. First way to check your computer configuration is go to Start, open Control Panel and search Type Icons. Type Icons. Under personalization, here you can able to see one option called as a show or common icons on the desktop. Click this one. Arrange all common icons on the desktop. I arranged some common icons on the desktop. Under that, one of the main important common icon on desktop, that is my computer. What was that? My computer. Select and right click my computer icon. Click on Properties. In the properties list, here you can able to see installed OS is Windows 7, Windows 7 Ultimate Edition, and installed OS type is 64-bit OS. Basically, my computer processor architecture is 64-bit processor architecture. So that reason I installed Windows 7 Ultimate Edition 64-bit operating system. Windows 7 operating system is available with different editions. Depends on your requirement. you have to choose or select particular OS with edition. Windows 7 editions are Windows 7 Starter, Home, Home Premium, Professional, Ultimate and Enterprise. These are the 6 editions or flavors from Windows 7 operating system, which can be used for personal or business purposes. This is one way. This way is not effective way. This way is not effective way to check the computer configuration. In this computer configuration, you just verified only installed OS, right? Right. If you are using licensed version antivirus in your computer, in the computer properties list, you can able to check installed amount of dynamic RAM and processor, processor type and processor speed in first way. How to check full-fledged configuration of computer? By using another way. Another way is just open run Windows or on the run type CMD, click on enter. And the command prompts type system info, click on enter. Why it is showing error? System info, the command is correct, but I log in as a guest. I would like to run this command as a administrator. Go to start, the start type CMD, select and right click, command prompt run as a administrator. Now this time I am using this command prompt as a administrator. In this command prompt type system info and error logon failure, unknown username or bad password. Why? Because I logged in as a guest user. If you logged in as a administrator, definitely execute this command system info. This command will be going to provide full-fledged configuration of your computer. No need to worry. In second way, we failed to check the configuration. Why? Because I logged in as a guest user in this computer. I would like to show one more way to check the computer configuration. That way is in run type DXDIAG. What was that? DXDIAG, diagnosing. Click on OK. What it is showing? To check the computer configuration, click on yes. What it is showing? It is showing full-fledged configuration of this computer. But BIOS information is not available, system model is not available. It is not showing full-fledged information, but memory is available, right? Not available. Why it is showing not available? You need to log in as an administrator, main user account. You need to log in as a main user account in this computer. That time you can able to check the full-fledged configuration of system. The system, and second tab is display, and third tab is sound, another one is input. Total information, full-fledged information on computer configuration available by using third way. And fourth way, last way to check your computer configuration is, wait a minute, open run. In the run type ms info 32.exe. Click on enter. In the system summary, can't collect information, but actually I need to log in as an administrator. If I logged in as an administrator by using the architecture type or capacity is 32-bit or 64-bit or 86, it will be going to show that information in these two ways. How many ways to check computer configuration? Number one way is go to desktop, select and right click my computer icon, click on properties. You can able to check the computer configuration. Second way is open command prompt. The command prompt types system info and execute that command. It will be going to provide full information about computer configuration. Third way is open run. On the run command type DXDIAG. Executing this command, you can able to check the full-fledged configuration of computer. Last way is fourth way. There are many ways to check computer configuration. No need to discuss that many ways. And the fourth way is go to run. In the run type msinfo32.exe and execute this command. you can able to check the full-fledged configuration of computer. I hope you guys are understood introduction to the computer hardware. In previous session, how many topics we discussed? Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. From past 4 days we are discussing about computer and computer hardware and basic components of computer and functionalities. I hope you guys are understood this session. I would like to show a little bit more information. How to check computer hard disk drive storage capacity? We need to use one tool. The tool is called as a disk management tool. The disk management tool, either press Windows, go to Start, especially it is Windows 7 Ultimate, type disk management. Here it is not showing any disk management related, right? Different option is there. By using different options you can able to access disk management, but how to access inbuilt tool of Windows operating system, that tool can be used to manage or control storage capacity of computer HDD. Go to run diskmgmt.msc, diskmanagement.msc. You do not have the access rights to logical disk management on Dell PC. Why? Because I logged in as a guest user. If you logged in as a administrator, open run, and the run you can able to see the write diskmanagement.msc, diskmgmt.msc. By executing this command on run you can able to access disk management tool. How to manage and control storage capacity of computer HDD? We have to use built-in tool of Windows operating system. The tool is disk management tool. This disk management tool is built-in tool which is used to manage and control storage capacity of computer HDD. With the help of this disk management tool you can able to create number of drives or volumes. On the screen you can able to see C drive, D drive, E drive. How you created these drives or volumes on computer HDD? With the help of disk management tool. We need to access disk management tool as administrator and create number of drives or volumes. Primary drive of computer is C drive. The C drive is generally called as a system or boot partition. Computer OS will be going to stored in C drive. Okay. And another drives are used to store our personal data. Is generally called as a extended partitions. General meaning of primary partition and extended partition. What is the partition? Disk partitioning. To understand primary and extended partitions, first we need to discuss partitions, disk partitioning. How I created different drives or volumes in my computer HDD? With the help of disk management tool. I accessed as an administrator disk management tool and I created volumes or drives. If we created 3 drives, those first 3 drives are generally called as a primary partition. Means in hard disk drive, any type of hard disk drive in computer we can able to create 2 types of partitions. Those are primary partition and extended partition. What is the general meaning of disk partitioning, or else what is the general meaning of partitioning? Disk partitioning is nothing but disk partitioning is the process of dividing available storage capacity of computer HDD into separate areas is called as a disk partitioning. You can able to verify, you can able to create 2 types of partitions on computer HDD. Number 1 is primary partition, number 2 is extended partition. If you created 3 drives or volumes on your computer HDD, first 3 drives or volumes are generally called as a primary partitions. Moreover, first 3 drives in disk management tool will recognize and identify with a particular color, same color. If you try to create one more drive or volume in your computer HDD, 4th drive, that is called as a extended partition. What is the use of primary and extended partitions? Primary partition is generally used to store computer OS. What is the use of extended partition? Extended partitions are used to store user's personal data. Understood? These are the two types of partitions, primary partition and extended partition. You can able to perform disk partitioning, create a number of drives with primary and extended partitions. Understood? I hope you guys are understood this session. This session might be helpful for your career and development. Right. Thank you for your great patience to listening my presentation. Thank you for watching this video and this session. Have a great day. See you some other class with different topic. Have a nice day. See you. Bye bye. Welcome to Google IT Support Certification course. Today's session we will going to discuss about storage management. Generally we will going to keep office files in cupboard. It's very difficult to keep hundreds or thousands of files in cupboard. That is nothing but it's a very difficult task to manage or keep and maintain hundreds of office files in cupboard. Whenever it comes to computers, as a user of computer we will going to keep or store thousands of files in computer hard disk drive easily. When we require to access any file, we will going to access and modify that file by accessing in fraction of seconds. Computer hardware platform is specially designed to keep thousands of files. Moreover, arrangement of files is easy task. So that reason today we will going to discuss storage management. Just look at slide. Today's session is storage management. What is the general meaning of storage management? Management is nothing but study of storage, study on computer storage. Whenever user from computer try to create number of files, those files will be going to store in secondary storage devices such as magnetic disk or optical disk drives or else flash storages. Computer operating system will be going to store in magnetic disk, which is called as a HDDs. Moreover, user's personal data also stored in computer's HDD. So that reason we have to discuss storage management of computers. That is nothing but computer storage management. Whenever time to discuss storage capacity of computer hard disk drive, it will be going to measures in bits or bytes or kilobytes, megabytes and gigabytes. These are generally called as a metrics to measure computer hard disk drive storage capacity. What is the general meaning of bit? One of the smallest storage unit of computer hard disk drive is bit. Bit will be going to represent either 0 or 1 hard disk drives. Normal computers such as laptops and desktop storage capacity is available in the form of terabytes. 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte. Recently I